Hey, so I've been reviewing the type of content that I want to create for my channel, and I was thinking about YouTube and people who watch YouTube videos and how YouTube is more long form content as opposed to the more popular form of scrolling through TikTok or Instagram Reels, which is short form content that I feel a lot more people consume. And the sorts of people that might gravitate towards more long form content are people who are looking to wind down or relax or sort of detach from the world for a bit. And I feel like in accordance with that, and also the type of things that I'm making videos about, it makes sense for my videos to lean more into being relaxing, easy to watch. I think I'm gonna definitely try and lean more into that this year. This video is definitely going to be that. I'm feeling we're gonna do some baking, really simple, baking some bread. So this video is just going to be relaxing, doing some baking, chilling out, wearing comfy clothes. Guys, I love this jumper. It is, I don't know what about it makes it so comfortable, but it is so... It's definitely going to be an upcycling project. I want to do something with it. It's so like floppy, but also warm. The hood fits really nice. And also the pockets are invisible, right? But they're there. And they're like really stretchy and nice. Anyway, that was a tangent. So the bread I want to make today is bread rolls with apricot and hazelnuts. Might be a bit ambitious, but I really would like to give it a go. And also the benefit of bread rolls is I can freeze them. I won't have to eat them all really fast, because also homemade bread just goes off so quick. So we're gonna give that a go today. Just have a chill day, make some bread. Stick around if that sounds really fun. First things first though, I'm gonna make myself some lunch first, and those of you who watch my videos a lot will recognize this as the bagel I made in my last baking video. It is frozen because I've kept it since then, and I'm gonna try and revive it. That was yummy. So, ingredients: yeast, honey, I've got wholemeal flour, and then we just need salt. And of course, the apricots and hazelnuts. Here is a cooking tip I learned at work. So the recipe says 30 grams of honey. I don't have any scales with me right now, but I learned at work that 15 grams is the equivalent of 1 tablespoon. So 30 grams, 2 tablespoons. This bag is 1.5 kilograms, so I'm using 2/3 of the bag. I would say I've done that, maybe slightly over. I reckon we leave it at this. I'm sort of wondering, is wholemeal flour just generally a lot more difficult to work with? Or are my approximations of measurements going to be a huge problem? We'll see what happens. We've got a need for 5 minutes. I watched the new Game of Thrones show last night, The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and I'm not sure what the general feeling about it is, but I loved it. I've been thinking about it a lot since watching it, and I just really want to watch it. I just love the different feel of it and like the humour of it. and there wasn't any unnecessary sex scenes or rape or childbirth. So like, that's a win for Game of Thrones. Alright, so now I think I need a cup each actually. A cup of apricots and a cup of hazelnuts. I'm feeling very, very skeptical about this today. It's all in the good name of practice, so hopefully something edible will come out of it at least. Now it's proving, so we've got an hour, so I'm gonna do some tidying up and then we'll see. I figured since we've got an hour to kill, I could do some work on my book that I've been writing. I've been writing a book for a while now, and I have a goal this year to finish the first draft. In order to like help myself get there, I've been trying to be disciplined about writing a bit of it every day. So I feel like we should do that now. An issue I've run into is I've completely filled this entire notebook, and I like to write on paper first rather than typing, because for my brain I guess it's just less daunting. But because I've run out of paper, I have resolved to just type it all up. Because also I've just gotten really lost with what I've written, because the amount of times I've like put an asterisk and written however much, it's just very chaotic inside here. So I need to type it up basically, so. Alright. I'm not entirely sure if it's double the size yet, but I don't really have time to leave it any longer, so we're just getting cracking. What we've got to do is get all the air out of it, and then divide it into the rolls, and then let those prove as well before we bake them. And then we bake them, and then it'll be done. I'm gonna go with about that size. Alright, so final thoughts and wrapping up the bread video. I managed to save the bread. While making this bread, I was having a lot of doubts, and I was like, how am I going to salvage all this flour and dough? I let it prove for like 4 or 5 hours because it wasn't rising, and I had stuff I needed to do, and so I just had to leave it. And I thought, well, either it's not going to rise at all and I'm going to have to do something with it, or it will rise after that period of time. Luckily, it had risen a bit by the time I'd gotten back. So I put them all in the oven right before I went to bed, let them cool overnight and everything. And then by the next day, they were fine. Like, they're edible, they're nice, they're just a bit dense. Like, they're not light and fluffy rolls, they're just a bit dense, but it's fine. We made something. However, there is a lot of room for improvement, but it's something I want to make a lot more of. I want to practice again. And I think the thing about especially working with wholemeal flour is I just need to use a bit less flour because it's quite a thick, heavy flour. Use some proper weighing scales for more precise measurements. Probably was part of the problem. And I think I definitely want to experiment a lot more with flavors, because you just kind of add whatever flavors you want, but just before the second proof, so you just like kind of knead everything in. So I was thinking I could divide it into halves, and then like half of the rolls I could do basil, tomato, and maybe cheese, and then the other half I could do olive bread, like olive bread rolls. That would be really good. Yeah, that's the goal for next time. I definitely want to try again. But I have been doing a lot more research into baking and what I can do to sort of upskill and get better so that I can look for a job, because ideally I'd really like to be working in a bakery. Yeah, lots to look forward to down the road. But that's gonna be it for this video. If this is the first video you're seeing of mine, it's definitely not the only thing I post on my channel. We have a lot going on, really. Sort of just lifestyle type stuff. So if you like sort of relaxed crafting creative channels that are mainly sort of vlog chatty type videos, then maybe you'll like my channel, so you should stick around and subscribe. But if not, I probably won't see you again, so it was nice knowing you.